This is the impeachment, so General, stand by. This is the walk of the impeachment articles for DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. They're impeaching him because they believe that he has violated the law at the southern border, letting millions and millions and millions of people in. The other side of this legal argument is that this is a policy debate. This is a policy dispute, and that you can't impeach somebody for a policy dispute.
If the president, likes his Homeland Security Secretary, he serves at the pleasure of the president. The president isn't going to do anything about him. You're not going to get these votes in the Senate. You don't even have all your Republican colleagues going along. 6 didn't even want to be any part of this. So this seems more political theater than anything else.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Well, I don't agree. The United States House of Representatives has impeached a member of the cabinet for the first time in 140-some years. To me, there is credible evidence.
Yeah, right. They have, as a desperate Hail Mary to provide a smokescreen for their own dire incompetence. Don't believe me? Well, let's ask a couple of Republicans to comment, shall we?
In a grave assessment, you could say this is really a violation of the sanctity of the House, what House Republicans have chosen to do with their governance of an institution that at times has risen to the greatest challenges our country has ever faced. They're now using their powers for this very political, unwarranted move and tool. And look, I started with the House in 1994, 1995, and it is sad to see how unserious it is currently under the Republican majority.
Each one of these is a legislative session. So this would be the 107th Congress. That's the first year of the 107th Congress, the second year of the 107th Congress. See that one down there at the end? Barely? That's us. All right? We're not doing anything. We're not, and by the way, the things we are passing are mostly post offices and the like. We did a couple of big things, the National Defense Authorization Act, which is done every year and has been for, I don't know, decades. But in terms of bills passing to make a difference to the American people, we're not doing it. And that's because we've become so hyper-partisan. I know that politics has long been known as the art of the possible. Now it's the art of the impossible, which is how can I introduce legislation that can't possibly win, which excites my base, which gets my wing to be excited about what I'm doing. How can I pass things? How can I introduce legislation that therefore will never become law? And we have more and more people that have gone to Washington to make noise, not to make law. And I frankly, looking at what it would be like to be in the Senate for the next 7 years and not get something done. And that's not for me. I want to get stuff done. I'm glad that I was there during a time when bipartisanship worked and we got a lot of things done. But I think those days are over for a while. I'm not sure when it will change, but I don't see that happening for a while.
While on Fox News recently, the Republican conference chair strutted on camera, hoping for a softball interview blaming Democrats for everything that Republicans have had the opportunity to address but failed to do so, and instead are following breadcrumbs leading to Hotel QAnon dropped by KK Karen herself, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Like Laken Riley? You're familiar with her, right?
Congressman Art Briggs.
Are you familiar with Laken Riley?
I am familiar with the case.
You should have deported her so that she could be alive today. Her parents would have appreciated that. This is an extremely concerning situation. I don't think anyone in the United States government, Americans, do not support actual Nazis or white supremacists. I know I certainly do not.
Interesting to hear my colleague just now talk about disavowing white supremacists when in 2022, she spoke at an event led by white supremacist and white nationalist Nick Fuentes, and when asked about it, doubled down on it and said, we're going to focus on people, not labels. So get out of here with that damn hypocrisy.
The same Marjorie Taylor Greene, by the way, that Fox News can't even stomach anymore. But during the interview, host Neil Cavuto was seen pivoting and going on the offense to press the Republican chair on the known fact that Republicans decided against bipartisan legislation at the request of their cult leader.
Republicans were blocking a bipartisan measure that seemed to be very promising until Donald Trump came and said this is a waste of time. Don't do that. This is a big election year issue for us. Now, I'm not sure that was your sentiment. I want to be clear. But Republicans botched a chance to deal with this crisis as well, right?
Well, what we know is the President of the United States refuses to enforce the law. That's one of the reasons Mayorkas is being impeached, refusing to enforce the law of the land. We can pass many more laws. If the President refuses to enforce them, what difference does it make?
You had a measure. It wasn't perfect, right? I mean, so, you know, it takes two to tango here.
And you see, kids, this is the face of someone who knows the truth, but feels apprehension from a certain tango troglodyte currently in court, hell-bent on decking himself out in orange head to toe. The real reason Republicans are set to launch this sham impeachment of Secretary Mayorkas with zero proof of high crimes and misdemeanors is to try and cloak their countless errors in some falsified sense of accomplishment that they can maybe run on in November.
Another member of Congress resigned today. So now I'll be told, Chip, we only have a 1-seat majority or 2-seat majority. I don't even know what it is anymore. Let me ask you a question. Does it matter? In 2018, we had the House, we had the Senate, we had the White House, and we had a bigger majority than we have today, and we utterly failed to secure the border. Totally dropped the ball, didn't do it.
Because let's keep in mind, right, that they have flushed a border security bill that added more Border Patrol agents, more asylum officers, more judges, a bill that lead Republican negotiators even agreed would help combat the issue, and frankly was so conservative that my progressive ginger ass struggled to stomach it.
We're going to move now to the impeachment trial of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. It's set to begin later today. The articles were delivered to the Senate yesterday after a 2-month delay. Republicans are accusing Secretary Mayorkas of willfully refusing to enforce border laws and breaching the public trust.
Are these the same
Republicans?
Are these the same Republicans
accusing him of that
killed
the border bill,
the toughest border security bill in history?
Correct.
Are those the same Republicans that? That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Republicans do not accuse Mayorkas of any specific criminal conduct.
And still, that wasn't enough for them. Why? Because Donald Trump couldn't run on that in November. He can only run on chaos. So it is important to remember that when talking heads like this appear on Fox and are usually given endless oxygen to spew disinformation over the southern border, they tanked a bill that conservative GOP senators favored, that national border security favored. Why? For the same reason they're trying to impeach Mayorkas, because they have as much interest in actually fixing the problem as Trump does actually attending Barron's graduation.
This is from Jeff Perlman's research, good reporter. It says in 1996, Donald Trump Jr. graduated from the Hill School in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Donald Trump failed to attend graduation. In 2000, Ivanka Trump graduated from Coate, a boarding school in Wallingford, Connecticut. Donald Trump failed to attend graduation. In 2002, Eric Trump graduated from the Hill School in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Donald Trump failed to attend graduation. In 2012, Tiffany Trump graduated from Viewpoint School in Calabasas, California. Donald Trump failed to attend graduation. And then in 2024, Barron Trump is graduating from Oxbridge Academy in Palm Beach. Thanks to legal proceedings, Donald Trump can pretend he had plans on attending. Not really hear Cohen talking so much about the stuff that you probably can't say as in the case, but from your knowledge and observation of Trump, him saying that he really wanted to.
Well, I was going to say that. I was going to interrupt you before and turn around and say I wasn't aware that he went to any of the kids' graduations.
They just want to complain about it. This is a Republican-led House that has passed the fewest bills in history, and we can fix that in November.
That was all going down. I guess that didn't cause you to rethink your decision?
Not at all. Not at all. No rear view mirror. Happy to move on. Dysfunctional place.
I mean, you must have been pretty intensely frustrated to not only not run again, but to leave early. And you're not alone, obviously. Mike Gallagher just said he's leaving too.
Yeah. Well, since this Congress started, there have been efforts to impeach the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the President, the Attorney General, the FBI Director, and in fact did impeach the Director of Homeland, Secretary of Homeland Security. Serious problems with setting priorities. We have a very tragic circumstance in Ukraine. We have a spiraling debt. All kinds of out-of-control problems, and we focus on messaging bills that get us nowhere.
This was not a Republican bill. This was a Democrat bill. Yeah, but people even in your own party are attacking you, saying we do not need more division. I mean, after all, Congressman, look how many people have left. Ken Buck stepping down, Mike Gallagher stepping down, and Mike Gallagher is leaving at a time that even makes things tougher for the Republicans, right? He's leaving early, isn't he?
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.